Yeah, last time I made a video about untreated infection or not properly treated infection could contribute to infertility. I'm not saying it's the major cause of infertility, but it could contribute to infertility. And I went ahead to tell us that the most painful aspect of it that born again Christians, most people that are dedicated serving the Lord, happens to be victims of this infertility as a result of untreated or not well treated infection. And you may be wondering, could it be possible? But I went ahead to say, yes, it's very possible. That even some of them that even married as a virgin and may end up having these infertility issues. And we are like, "Ah, could it be possible?" And I now want to tell you consequences of untreated or not well treated infection. You know, when someone have an infection and that infection is not treated or you didn't treat it well, probably you just went and mixed drugs and then you took after some time, the symptoms tends to, minimize or stop and you feel I am okay. Some persons too, when they have infection, they leave God and they start praying and casting and binding and they end up not even going for treatment. And after some time, maybe the thing may subside and they move ahead. But the truth is that this infection is inside our system causing harm. We may not know. And one of those harm could be that it may cause scars in the tissue. It may attack our tissues and end up forming scars. And some of these scars may be even in the fallopian tube. For instance, if it's infection that is related to reproductive organ, it will end up attacking our reproductive organ, which fallopian tube is one of them. The uterus is one of them. The walls of the uterus and even the endometrial lining. And when this infection attack this area, for instance, in the tube, this tube, it may form a scar in the tube. And when there's a scar in the fallopian tube, when egg is released from the ovary and the egg is dropping, it's coming down to meet to probably a sperm when there's an intercourse. And if there's a blockage, the egg may not be able to meet with the sperm cell. The person may be okay, the hormones may be balanced, but because there's a blockage, there will be difficulty in the egg and the sperm meeting. What is the end result? There will be infertility because conception will not take place. Sometimes, too, the egg might be able to see a space or the sperm may swim and pass because it's tiny and meet with the egg. Now, fertilization will take place. And when fertilization takes place there, normally after some time, the fetus or the embryo, which is now the result of the fertilization, there will be a time that it need to come down to go and implant in the womb where it will start developing. So when it wants to come down because of that scare, because of that blockage in the tube, it will not be able to pass. What is the result? Ectopic pregnancy. If at all there's fertilization, ectopic, and we know that ectopic pregnancy will result to the surgery and cutting off that tube. So what we are now saying that it has caused blocked tube, and this blocked tube can lead to not being able even to conceive at all. And then, if luckily you conceive with a blocked tube, it may end up causing ectopic pregnancy. It could see it. And some Christians are victims of this we are talking about. Again, when there's an infection, the infection will end up going to eat the ovary, attacking the ovary. And when the ovary is attacked, it may end up not being able to produce quality egg. And that's again brings about when there's no quality egg, that when an egg is produced and it's not of high quality, it may not be able to be fertilized, and that is why still infertility results. And again, some persons believe that once they are seeing some signs that ovulating, I don't want to go into that teaching today because that's not what I want to teach. But what I'm trying to say is that you may feel I have ovulated, oh, why didn't I conceive? not knowing that a matured egg was not produced. And when the egg is not matured, even if it meets with the sperm cell, it may end up not being able to fertilize. Or sometimes they may end up fertilized because it's not of a high quality. You see spontaneous abortion. Maybe you miss your period for a few days, no, and you feel I am pregnant. The next thing is that your menses will come with heavy flow, which means the egg that was produced was not of high quality. Again, going into the uterus now, when the infection has attacked the uterus, you could see that the uterus will not be as smooth as it should be to receive the already fertilized egg that is now the embryo. So when the embryo comes down to the womb is not well positioned. The womb is not well in a situation that the egg can comfortably sit. The embryo can comfortably sit and start growing. And that brings about spontaneous abortion. Sometimes it may even be the endometrial lining where the fertilized egg is supposed to plant because it has already been attacked by the infection. The position is not well kept for the embryo to sit and start growing. There's a lot of things that can cause infertility as a result of infection. Another thing again is when there's an infection that is not treated or not properly treated, it can cause hormonal imbalance. You may ask me why. It can cause hormonal imbalance. How? Because this same infection can attack the 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 endocrine gland, where the that controls the formation of hormones, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, prolactin, all of them that has their own function in fertility. So when this endocrine gland is attacked, their function will be impaired and brings about not producing hormones to the normal levels they should be, and therefore it results to hormonal imbalance. And when there's a hormonal imbalance, we all know that there won't be conception because there won't be ovulation. We have so many things that infection can cause. I'm talking about in a woman because we'll still discuss about that in men, how infection affects men too. But today I'm talking about how infection affects fertility in women. So when infection is not treated, it can cause a lot of things that will bring about infertility in a woman. There are other things that may cause infertility, but as regards infection, I've given you a little teachings that you know. And so what am I trying to say in summary? Especially to my Christian sisters. In as much as we believe in God, in as much as we are praying, like I've earlier said, medicine, the knowledge of medicine was given by God. If it was not necessary, God wouldn't have allowed it. And for God to allow medicine, it is important that we make use of it. In as much as we pray, in as much as we believe God, let us always go for treatment at the right time. When you have symptoms of infection, don't hesitate to go to a medical test. Go to medical lab tests, do your test, and if there's infection, make sure you follow your treatment given by your doctor. Make sure you follow your treatment until it is cleared. If possible, after the treatment, still go for a recheck to make sure that it has cleared. I just remembered again that one of one of the consequences of untreated infection is pelvic inflammatory disease. The pelvic will be inflamed, and when it is inflamed, a lot of things goes wrong. So please go for your medical treatment as soon as we have a sign of infection and make sure it is well treated. And that's why you see some Christians, they shy away from going to hospital. They believe that God can settle everything. They don't go to hospital, or they sometimes they neglect going there. They keep on praying. So please, I plead with you. Once you have sign of infection, especially young girls, people at the reproductive age, please go for treatment. Do the necessary thing. Do you know that even untreated infection can lead to cancer of the cervix? I don't want to go into that side today. I'm talking about how it causes infertility. So please always go for your medical check so that you will be able to avert certain things, so that At least for some persons that have kept themselves very well, when you get married, let it be not infection has damaged areas of your body and you will not be able to conceive. Please remember to share this information. It is very important. People's eyes should be open so that they will do the right thing and then avoid certain situations that is avoidable. God bless you. Even as you share this video, it's very important.